Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Shave in Solitude. My name is Siraj, and I hope all of you guys are doing really well. Now, you guys would have noticed my channel is primarily focused on shaving hardware reviews rather than software. I do reviews of soaps and splashes, but it's extremely rare. Let me share with you why. Now, the primary reason why I don't do shave soap and splash reviews are because I feel one needs to have a very discerning nose to be able to describe the scent properly to the viewers rather than just read from a sales page. And I unfortunately do not have that. Many of the times when I use a shave soap or a splash, it'll catch on to probably one or two main notes, and that is all that is going to linger with me through the shave and as long as the splash would last. That I think would be a disservice to my viewers and obviously a huge disservice to the business which created that soap, spending so much of time and effort. This is why I primarily focus on razor reviews, because I feel that every video that I create should give some value back to the viewer. I don't think my software reviews provide that value, which is why I don't do it. The second reason is, although I do have sufficient software, I don't buy shave soap and splashes that frequently. So again, going back to the point of value of my videos, if I am unable to provide a regular supply of shave soap and splash reviews, again, I feel that I'm not giving sufficient value to my viewers. The third thing is I do have my fair share of large company soaps like Sterling and A&E and Barrister and Mann, but I prefer to support smaller businesses like the Cajun Blade. So which is why my shave soap and splash review will again become very niche, and that's something again I feel does not add value to somebody who's looking at the latest and greatest releases. What I can do is I can definitely recommend a couple of channels which I think do a phenomenal job of shave soap reviews, especially when it comes to their scent profiles. They don't just read from a sales blurb. They actually go in a little bit more deeper into the scent, get into details of what it actually smells like, gets into details of what the different scent profiles are. So the two channels that I would recommend, number one is Tennessee Whiskey Shaving. It's run by one of my friends, Wes. And the second channel is Tobin Throwbacks, run by Tobin Fetters. I will link both of these under this video. The other thing is, if you are wanting to find out how does a shave soap perform regarding how much can it hold water, how much can you lather and stuff like that, again, a couple of excellent channels. El Mascarano Shaves, run by Nick Lopez, again a friend of mine, and Lathered Yeti, run by Chris Smith, again a friend of mine. Both of these guys push the lather to its limits. So in case that's something that you'd like to see, those are the channels that I would recommend. And again, I will link them below this video. So the next thing that you might be saying is, then why should I watch your video, Siraj? Valid point. Well, I wanted this video and other shave soap videos that I will be making in the future to look at these shave soaps from a normal user, somebody who probably doesn't get all the scent notes, somebody who's not able to push the lather all the way till the very pinnacle. So a normal user, because that is what I think I am. So what I've done is, as you guys know, my scoring system for my razors, I have revised my scoring system for shave soaps and splashes. So we will start with that in the next part of the video. I have around 16 sets from the Cajun Blade. Don't worry, I know it seems a lot, but only 6 of them are full size, and remaining 10 of them are the smaller gentleman size, which gives you a 2 ounce shave soap and a 2 ounce splash for $25. Once we have finished the overall scoring, how I feel the base performs, how it lathers, so on and so forth, then I will quickly take you guys through how I lather the Cajun Blade soaps. And then we will finally end with some new upcoming products which might be launched soon on the store. And what are some of the things that I really like about the Cajun Blade as a brand? And also some of the things that I think it could improve upon. So let's get started with the ranking. So before we get into the subjective rating of multiple soaps that I've used over the past few weeks, let me share with you guys a few fast facts about the Cajun Blade. So the Cajun Blade as a company was started in 2024 and is based in Louisiana. So Eric Herbert, who owns and runs this particular shop, this is a passion project for him. This is not his primary job. He loves wet shaving, and this is his way of giving back and creating products that he would be proud to use. Eric is supported by his wife and daughters, so now it's become a family business. They help out in shipping, they help out in tracking. Eric does the main work of creating the soap. Now, this is one critical thing. Everything is a creation by Eric. He does not go after dupes of famous colognes and scents. So, in case if you guys want to, go down that route, and which is absolutely fine as well, I think you will be better served by the likes of Sterling Soap, PAA, Hendrix, and Classics. And there are many other soap makers who create these kind of soaps which smell similar to a fragrance that you might have already smelled or you might already own. But if you're looking for something completely new, Eric focuses on that. He does not like doing dupes. So please keep that in mind, and which I think is a good thing. Now, a lot of his scents are heavily influenced by his Louisiana roots, how he grew up, how he spends time in the nature. So, a lot of the scents will have similar notes which you can probably relate to if you've had a similar upbringing like Eric. And last but not the least, what I've noticed about Eric is he loves to give back to the shaving community. He's frequently a part of meetups. If you guys have had a chance to check out his YouTube channel, he does honing videos where he'll teach you how to hone, and you can watch him live. I've seen him do a lot of giveaways. And a little known fact, if you guys get to know Eric one on one, and if you're a straight razor shaver, Eric will gladly hone your razor for you free of cost. Not because he's trying to make money, but because he just loves the craft. So let's talk about my subjective rating scale and some slight changes that I've made to it. Now, if you guys have seen my shaving razor reviews, you know that I typically like to stick with a 4-point scale, going from poor, okay, good, and great. But when it came to this particular review, I thought it made more sense for me to move from a 4-point scale to a 10-point scale. For example, there might be scents where the scent is better than a good, but to me it's not great. So where do I go ahead and score it? Which is why I moved away from that 4-point scale to a 10-point scale, hoping to share a more truthful take on how I felt the scent was and how the soap performed. Now, overall, what I'm looking for is a minimum target score of 70%, for me to say that I really like a particular soap. So before we delve into the subjective rating for each one of his soaps and splashes, I think one of the things I need to share with you guys is I've gotten to know Eric over the last year quite well. So some of the ratings that I've given might seem a little strict because I felt that's only fair given that I know Eric well. I didn't want to feel that I am letting that friendship color my rating. So, in case some of you guys use his soaps, you might actually rate it higher. But I have taken a very critical eye in terms of how I felt the soap performed or how a scent was. And that will be reflected in some of the scores that you guys will see. So, over the past few weeks now, I have been using the Cajun Blade soaps and splashes almost exclusively. So, what I've done over here is I used these particular soaps, then I came back to my study and I scored them. And in case there is a particular soap where I didn't like the scent or I thought did not perform as well, next day I would go ahead and shave with it once again to see whether any of my ratings changed. Because as you guys know, many of the times when you're using a soap, at times, in case if it's not working well for you, it might be something that you did versus something wrong with the soap. So I wanted to give the benefit of doubt to that particular soap to make sure that the ratings that I'm giving are the final ratings. So this is how most of the stuff that I used scored. I think from a value point of view, it's really good. Um, for me, in my head, maximum I am willing to pay is $5 an ounce. Eric's soaps fall anywhere from between four to four and a half dollars per ounce, which I think is a phenomenal pricing. In terms of creating lather, each and every one of his soaps performed really well. It was very, very simple to create the lather. So I've given it pretty much nines. Glide and cushion, again, was very, very good. At times it was the fault of the razor. Probably I was using a razor which was not working very well. But when I went back to it the next day with a different razor, I saw that the soap worked really well. Residual slickness also is really good. That's why I've given it pretty much 8 all throughout. Before we move into the scent score, post shave feel also was very, very good. When it comes to the scent score, as you guys can easily see, there are certain scents that I really liked, and then there are certain scents which I did not care for. So obviously, I mean, for those specific ones, it did bring down that particular score. So overall, if I was to give a final overall rating based on everything that you see on your screen right now, the total score achieved after all these ratings is 83.38, which is very high. So I do completely recommend the Cajun Blade soaps and splashes as a product. Now that we've finished with the ranking part of the video, let's take a look at how do I create a lather with the Cajun Blade soaps. So for the purposes of this lather video of the section, we are going to be lathering with Defending Liberty. So if you guys have seen my other shaving videos, you would have noticed that many of the times I used a scoop like this. Now, while it's easy to scoop, at times I end up with a little bit more soap, a little bit less soap, then I'm thinking of how much water to use and all of that. So I decided to move to a standardized 1/4 teaspoon size. So the way that I scoop my soap is, this is a soap. I will start going ahead and scooping as if I am scooping vanilla ice cream. So I'll do it like that. Make sure that the spoon section is nicely packed and filled up. And then I will just take it and just scrape it on the top so that it's exactly 1/4 teaspoon. So now we will take the soap and we will put it at the center of the bowl. So here we are. We have applied the soap and we have pressed it down at the bottom of the bowl. I have a Phoenix shaving synthetic brush soaking in a tumbler. I'm just going to squeeze out the water once. That's it. I'm not going to squeeze out everything. I'd like to keep some water in the brush. And in terms of the water, as you guys see, it's roughly 20 milliliters of water that I use with 1/4 teaspoon of soap. So we're going to start building the lather. I'm just going to start swirling my brush clockwise and then anti-clockwise. Clockwise, anti-clockwise. So I'm just doing that continuously. Don't press down on the brush too hard. I'm just using the tips of the brush to just swirl the soap from one side to the other. This is where we stand right now. Now I'm going to take a little bit of the water. Once the water is in, I'm just going to swirl it around, giving it a chance to mix with the soap. And then I'm going to repeat this. Again, no pressure on the brush. I'm just going back and forth, slowly building the body of the lather. Now, for some people, they might say, oh, this lather is good enough, I can start shaving. That's fine. That's your call. All right. We've again started building a little bit of body. I'm going to take a little bit more of the water. And I'm going to start to mix. Now, after some time, I've started to be slightly more vigorous with my mixing because I want to incorporate some body into the lather. Slightly, don't go too much. I'm going to add, as you can see, the lather has started to build. I'm going to add the remaining water and incorporate it again in the lather. And there you see, your lather is ready. It's got a nice sheen to it. It's got a lot of body. There's still a lot of lather in here. This is sufficient for a 3-pass shave. It can still take a little bit more water, but I prefer my lathers slightly thicker because when I'm running the razor on my face, I don't want the lather to start slipping off from the razor and falling down on my t-shirt and making an entire mess. So this is what I do. This is how much lather you have, as you guys can see. And I've got enough lather in the brush ready for the first pass. So this is enough lather for at least 3, 4, 5 passes, how much ever you need. So let's take a moment to talk about some new releases which are coming up at the store. Some of it is already there, some of it is going to be coming up. So the very first thing is there is a new Wagyu-based line that Eric is planning to launch. It's going to be a few months away. I think he might launch it in fall, but the web page is already up on the main website, so you guys can see it. A couple of new items which are coming to the store that you guys haven't seen yet. One is a new DE razor called as the ACR1, and one is a new straight razor. In full transparency, Eric sent me a sample of the DE razor. I've been shaving with it over the past couple of days. Stay tuned next week when I drop the review on it, and I'll give you my honest take on how I feel the razor performs. So now that we've gone through the rankings, the building of the lather, and what else is coming up in the store, let's talk a little bit about where I think the Cajun Blade does exceedingly well, and a couple of areas which I feel could be a little different. Good things about the Cajun Blade that I really like is the small gentleman size sets that they have launched, because it gives people a chance to sample the shave soap and splash without going ahead and splurging on the entire big set. So in case if your budget is $50, you can pick up 2 sets versus just picking up one full set. The next thing that I like about the Cajun Blade, I think that the scents are unique. There are no dupes of any famous colognes or fragrances. That's why every time you buy something, you are in for a little bit of a surprise because you don't know whether you like it or you don't. And just like you guys saw in my ranking, it's not that I like them all. So in terms of improvements, I think the Cajun Blade's website would benefit from a separate section where certain items are always in stock. The most commonly sold scents, maybe 2, 3, 4, in case they can be stocked all the time, I think that'll help, because when new people are trying it out, at least they know that these are the most widely selling ones and are always there on the website for you to pick up. Because apart from that, a lot of the other stuff is seasonal. It comes and it goes, and then you have that whole thing of FOMO. So that is the very first thing. The second thing, personally for me, I would like my splashes a little bit more lighter, but that's a personal preference. It's got a lot of skin food. I feel at times the skin food is a little too much, but that's only for me. So that's about it, guys. I hope you found the review of the Cajun Blade helpful. If you liked what you saw, I would encourage you to go and visit the website and give the products a try. Right now, there is a very good sale going on, 4th of July 2026. I think it is 20% off. So if you'd like to go give it a try right now, I think this is the perfect time. So that's about it, guys. I hope all of you guys are doing well and you have an excellent week ahead. Till the next video, please take care.